So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, let's look. We have, I don't know, this light here, they're all off now. Doesn't light back and doesn't do, I don't know why. So, it's all off. Okay, so now let's handle this case here. First of all, this is what we call uh, the movement of the Fulani people. The Fulani people, okay, the Arab Fulani and Janjaweed, the Equatorian Sudanese, and the Janjaweeds as the South Sudanese or people. Okay, the South Sudanese are called Janjaweeds. This is the Janjaweed groups. They are South Sudanese. Okay, they are from here, from this region here, but they have, South Sudan extended the contract as to become a Janjaweed, and for which they also hired proportional the RSF. How they got RSF hired, that is their new map, which down here, which is this one here on that particular area, and which is sealed. This new map which they have right there, have that contract of hiring those RSF combinations as in Janjaweed. But halfway they are saying their skin is in Janjaweed as like this dark, and then they are going Fulani. They are going like this brown skin or Arabic skin like that, and then that is light skinned and then dark skinned. Of course, this is dark, that is light, and then as Arabics or as an Fulani, the Sudanese families there, and then the Equatorian also look like this, the Fulanis, uh, but they don't normally look like this, the Equatorians. If you look, they're maybe 3% like these guys, and that's how it goes. And if you trace alongside it, this is the Sudan Khartoum. They goes from Darfur and then they're taking halfway of this one Equatoria and this South Sudan area which is right there, and they goes to Nigeria, Chad and Central Africa alongside right there. So on the other area they cover was this line here. They came from Somalia. You can see they take part of Lodwar, which is Kenya, and then towards the South Sudan. You can see right there, that is there right there, and then halfway they cover this much right there. So is if they come from Somalia, they take that South Sudan all over. They make it like this. They did not conquer Sudan. They failed, because they took the whole profit. The whole plan of the Fulani now in this recent RSF war or SAF war, of course, as the Sudanese army or the rapid support forces plan is to ensure they only come from here, this line, and then they take only this line which will live right there at the border of Central, and then Chad. They will take only this line here. They will not take that border of that South Sudan which is right there. They will not take it. They will take only this side here, which is by this border. They will take it. They will connect it with the Equatoria, and then they will come. The one that come from here, they must stack right there around Equatoria, and then only taking away this line which will just create it right there, and then they will connect it to back to this line here to Khartoum. You see, that is how they should be doing. If it's about the taking over of the South Sudan, the as a new strategies which has been laid by the Fulani and then by the Janjaweed and then by the Arabs, okay? So and the Equatorian as well and the South Sudanese as well, as you can see, the fleeing of that particular war got this one, got at least uh, over 125,000 refugees over South Sudan, and then 30,000 over, let's say it, over Chad, and then and 10,000 over South Sudan, 30,000 over Central Africa. That is like 300,000 over Central Africa, and then of which 10,000 in the source of Sudan. Okay, who will not get a refugee in the source of Sudan? Coup. Okay, so South Sudan, coup Sudan, the coup decision Sudan, uh, for which Sudan is recognized as a part of Sudan by fleeing the war, and then they name it Darfur, elderly Darfur, which is a war one. And then the North Equatorial Sudan was denied by source of Sudan policies, which receive roughly 125,000 most recent returnees, and for which they turned those returnees no more Nuer and Dingas regions, but they make it this one a sealed a new path to back up Sudan unity, but as a unity benefit, and then those benefits of this 125 has been denied right there. You can see it's written on those guys that is a source Sudan, not source of Sudan. If they put it source of Sudan, of course that is a Juba is the second capital city of Sudan. It's not the capital city of South Sudan. Okay, so you are getting the differences, and ladies and gentlemen, analysts, we are together here. Let's continue. Fulanis, this is the Fulani Arabics, and then the Janjaweed. They are Chad, of course, refugees, and then they have babies, they have women, they said they have men, they have youth, they have elderly people are missing in the war. Okay, the war was created by this source of Sudan cases, because the RSF and then the SAF rivaling created the one tradition, South Sudan to be source of Sudan, to be called source of Sudan. Okay, are we getting there the meaning? So that's how they were able to kill roughly less than 600 people roughly there, for which injuring over 6,000 of the Sudanese in the hospital manner, and then for which over 800,000 at least left without power, without water, without food, and is hard, of course. The Fulani migration routes, we show you right there, this is their roots. Their root is Arabs, and they are Janjaweed. They originate from Emirates, in Arab states, and then that's, let's say it, Darfur, and then they are Darfur or the Sudanese, Nigerian, Chad, and all north-based issues and settlements as a wealth of the rich Sudanese. So as being a rich Sudanese, the Fulani people choose staying in the north is the benefit and is the wealth of the rich people. So Sudan is in 1989, that is to 2019. We have President Omar al-Bashir Hassan and the two generals of that 2023 war, civil wars, okay? And as you can see, the tracing of this Fulani must must coordinate with the Equatorial Sudan. They must know Equatorial Sudan area, which has been marked there, which has divided the South and South Sudan, and has divided Equatorial Sudan. And that created Equatorial Sudan back. They should trace that capital, Juba. If they're using addition Somalia, Lodwa, Kenya, northern entry to Equatorial tracing, which will connect this Central Africa to connect Darfur and then that tracing is available, and that tracing can connect that line of the Kordofan via Kenya to Ethiopia, can connect that one as well, and then will create more isolation for the South Sudanese people there to collapse that bad business and that bad terrorism ideology, because they have a comedy applications too much there, not Nigerian applications too much there, and then the chat application too much there, Central African Republic applications too much there, uh, which created actually the notorious Fulani's headmanships, and for which they are going headmanless. Okay, they are going addition, no longer addition, grazing their livestock. Okay, managing their livestock, their movement, creating condition more poverty for them, for which they were the Nigerians Janjaweed, which they claimed, of course, of their notoriousness, they are seen to be the most notorious, like these South Sudanese people, the Dinkas and the Nuer. Okay, as we talk of the Janjaweed, are known as the Sudanese. Okay, and other hands, the disadvantages of the source of Sudan receive Sudan to journey as a Janjaweed, RSF, and SAF, the Fulani Arabs, and then via addition Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea. That is Sudan, of course. Sudan border relationships which happen in Kenya border with the Sudan, Kenya border with the Sudan. That is the most notoriousness originate, and then that powerfully created edition Fulani people. No more east without a Kenya. No more east without a Kenya. Therefore, New Sudanese can 5,000 really buy two car. That is the situation. If this is 5,000 Canadian dollars or US dollars, can it buy two car, two brand new car, or two trucks, or two cars, or two SUVs, or two sedans? Can that be? We talk of this one market price. How far do you refugees reduce during this war flee? How far do you guys reduce the prices as you are fleeing the war? Does the war have reached their needs, wants, demands, for food, for water, for light, for housing needs? Do they really reach those expectations? This is the criteria, of course, on that particular areas. Of course, the Fulani has 501 tribes and dialects. Okay, their marriage is mixed blood. Of course, they have a lot of light-skinned Arabs, and then they have dark-skinned Fulani base also, and others, white and others. Okay, uh, for which the origin is based on blue black, and then the green black, and then of course origin basis like Victoria's, that is the source of River Nile, Sudan president, Sudan Nubians, as Afro-Arabs, and the Ethiopian, the Egypt, Kenyan, the Sudanese, after source of Sudan confused the Sudan leadership, as we said here, the ancestral whole press matters raises this one 711 ADs to present, that Sudan Fulanis factors roses powerful after 2008 vote failures. Okay, people fail to vote for the Fulani peoples, recognizing the histories of this one of 711. They refuse to recognize these Fulani's histories, their status as a Sudanese. So the vote failed in 2008, which credited two Sudanese generals to flee and it raised war. which may displace at least 30,000 refugees status in the recent Sudan war achievement. And then that happened, and then the war formed tradition, the Fulani to flee from Khartoum to Darfur, covering half part of that source right there. You can see they cover half of that source right there, and then they take it over right there by that war, because they fight a little bit there around that area, and then they take it over, they make it good now, and then they work around Central Africa, creating the north of Nigeria as well. That's why they have powerful. And then on the other end, they use east side of Sudan, and then that is covering part of Kenya, and then tracing Equatoria. That is their failure, because Equatoria they are in Kenya and Uganda. So that is unless the Fulani people must make a journey from Central Africa to DRC, and then to Arua, Uganda, and then that's when they will cover source of Sudan. They will create source of Sudan to map back as a Sudan owned map, and then to date, the trace may found, of course, source of Sudan is still guilty, a liar, and a criminal right there. If you see and you trace those map which has been created around there, you may see that these people there offensive, and they're crazy. So that's why if we work very hard right there, that is the least we can find there. The Fulani, the Janjaweed, the Arabics, the Sudan, Darfur, Chad. Of course, you can say the crescent of that is housings, water, lights, and then food. Of course, we have what they call households, and then furnitures, appliances, electronics, and then works, jobs, and then finances, maybe loans, maybe sales, yeah, and then warehousings, and then the industrials, maybe banking, could be the UN assistance, the NGOs for jobs, which is a job now, and then the government, which is the locations and the popular issues addresses that they may be having, so that they less and least interfere around that mandates. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, so that is quite overview, and the areas that we are mentioning is that is the trace. If you see trace one line, this line here is from east. They call it east. This is central, and this is the west. Okay, west trace by Fulani people, and then west is traced by the Equatorians. This is the Equatorian Sudanese in red, and then the ASF Fulani people. So they are going like that. That's how they may go, and then go and go and go. Okay, so if we are to open the map, so let's say the map, okay, the map is like that. Of course, that is the map. Of course, the tracing captured like this. This is Uganda right there. You can see they came from right there, from Khartoum, and then this is Nyala. This is them there with their livestock. The Fulani people. They goes like this, and then this is central. This is Chad, and this is Central Africa. So they are here, and then they take roughly this part here to go like this. They take it right there. So they will come like this. They will work here as Equatoria, and then work right there as Equatoria, back to that area. That is their work. The Fulani people, that's what they will be doing. So that is their routines, and then they may work very much here around Uganda. You can see they can work around here, Arua. Okay, that's Arua. That's where the Fulani people normally stays, and then the one in Uganda, and then this is Yei. This is the Fulani people. They are the ones selling even right there. You can see that is Yei, Sudan. Okay, so that is them right there. And then you can see we have right there, this is from here, from this line here to right there, to right there, to right there, to right there. That is all Fulani people. And then back to, let's say it, back to wherever possible, where the trees came right here, that is right here. That is again the Fulani people as east side entry. So from here, if they use Somalia, that's how they goes, and then they come right there. If they come from here, this is Chad, this is Central, this is Nigeria, and then they come back to DRC, and then to Uganda right there, and then to Kenya, and then to Ethiopia, and then to Eritrea, back to Sudan right there again. This is Sudan, all Sudan right there. So that is how the tracing goes, because they are tracing, they are made to trace. The war here, the war of 2023, only said, yeah, these people, the Fulani people and the Fulani families can only do the government, the tracing only, okay? Those Sudan government tracings. So that's why they were made to only run the tracings. If you see the history here, the narrations of that particular map which they show there, right, is all about the tracings. They want to trace how is this guy that cut the South Sudan, how is their families originated, and where is their whereabout. They want to find on the really policies here, because if you see this red map here, is giving all the Sudanese more strength. There will be a future for Sudan. Sudan will come fully as is oriented on the map. Okay, it will be like that on the map. So it will give more confidence, because the tracing was down here done. The trace, this is how the dingas were made. Okay, that is mixed blood by the Arabs and then the blacks. From the Arabs, they go and multiply bloods which are like this, and then from there they isolated them, and then the isolation result all black, 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 black. That's why they move them right there, and then they become more notorious. So their group is notorious, and then they have a mature status groups, and then which goes like this. They really goes like that. That's more matured. They really that come like this down here. That is not mature. Sometimes most of them they are arrogant, and then they are more pirates, and then they rely upon negativities. So that's why it's creating more impacts on the people. So if you see there, that's how the tracings itself works. But the tracings there must involve, and it must involve decision. If is Central African based, Republic based applications, must this notoriousness must involve the use of the source of Sudan, okay, as an achievement, must use the word Equatoria Sudan as an achievement. If you use Equatorial Sudan, and then the tracings there will mark Equatorial Sudan as red, and then will leave that conscious border guy eitherly this map color here. Okay, they will create them this white color on the map like that, and then they will silt that Equatorial on the red, and then they will mark it red down here like this one here. Like this map can tell you, if you cannot see, or you can see, I don't know, we show you this map right there, this map right there, we show you many times. So that's how it works. So it may work from there, and that's how the whole systems works. So otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, it's not waste much time. So that's by me, the White Hassan Tazis it on.